Welcome to day 4. Today, we aren't just playing around, we're building a real business tool. Imagine you own a boutique hotel. Instead of writing down bookings on scraps of paper, we're going to build a system that does it for you. Before we start, we need to know that every single automation you build, no matter how complex, follows these 3 steps. 1. The trigger, the when a robot doesn't just work all the time. It needs to know when to wake up. This is the starting line. It could be when a new email arrives, or, in our case, when someone hits the submit button on a form. In n8n, this is always the trigger node. 2. The node, the what this is your robot's toolbox. A node is a single step that does one job. One node reads a spreadsheet. Another node writes an email. Another node talks to ChatGPT. We connect these nodes together to build the chain. 3. The output, the where this is where the results go. After the nodes have worked, they need to save their work or show it to you. The output of one node becomes the input for the next. This flow of information is what makes everything work. First, open your n8n dashboard. See the screen? Click Create New Workflow. Let's name our workflow at the top, Grand Hotel Booking System. Ready? Let's build. Our robot needs to wake up when a guest wants to book a room. The when here means a trigger, and our trigger will be a form. Click the plus in the center of your grid. Search for n8n form and click it. You will see an option on New n8n form event. Click that. Now, let's design the form our guest will see. It will make sense when we see the result. Let's write a title for our form. That is what customers would see in the top of the form. Booking system. Nice. Click Add field for each of these. In the label field, type guest name. Here you can see the available types that you can select from. We will choose text. I don't want the guest to skip this input, so we will click on Add Attributes and select Required Field. So when we enable this option, the user must fill this input field. Now, we can add another form element. The label will be room type, and the type will be a drop-down with multiple options: suite, deluxe, or standard. That will make it easier for the user to know what room type or exists. You could choose a different type for the input field, but you need to think always of the user experience and making it more clear and easier for customers to know the options that you have. Otherwise, they could write something random, and that won't be good for us. Okay, cool. Now we will make sure that this field will not be left empty. So we add an attribute, required input. Last input will be the check-in date. With the type date. Now we will make sure that this field will not be left empty. So we add an attribute, required input, and we will enable it. Now if you click on Execute Workflow, let's check the result. Nice. You just built a booking page. But right now, when you hit Submit, the data goes nowhere. It's like a letter with no envelope. Let's fix that. Now let's make sure our form data never disappears. Click the plus button. Search for Google Sheets. And choose Append Row. This will send every new form submission straight into a spreadsheet. Next, go to Credentials and click Create Credentials. Ignore that I have some credentials before. I will create a new one. Once connected, every time someone submits the form, the data will automatically be saved in your Google Sheet. Leave this tab opened. We will back to it later. This is the part where most people get stuck, but we're going to do it together, click by click. We need to give n8n a VIP pass to enter your Google Sheets. Open your browser. Type in the search Google Cloud. I will share the link of the Google Cloud in the description of this video. Okay, nice. If you enter it for the first time, you will see a pop-up window, a welcome, and some info, as you can see. You can check the first option. If you like to get updates on any new service or updates, then check POF options. At the top, click the project drop-down and select New Project. Name it whatever you want. I will name it n8n course for YouTube. Don't forget to select the project that we created in the drop-down by clicking on it. Sorry, but my laptop language is German, but don't worry. I will be slow and translate on the way. And if anyone needed any help, you can write a comment and I will help. Okay, back to business. Now, our goal to enable the Sheet's power. On the left menu, go to APIs and Services. You can write in the search API and Services to find it faster. Then select the second option, Library. Search for Google Sheets API. And hit Enter. Then click on Enable. Okay, great. We are halfway done. Now we need to select the OAuth consent screen. Then click on Get Started button in the middle of the screen. Now we need to fill up the form. I know it is not simple, but we almost done. In the app information, type a project name. Then select your email. Then click Next. For the target group, click on External, the second option, then click Next. Contact info, type your email again, and click Next. Agree on the terms and conditions, and click Next. Then Create button. Okay, now we need to add a client. Go to the client option and click on it. Then the button Create Client. Application type, Web application. The redirect URI is important. Now we need to fill this field with the right info. To do that, go back to n8n tab. You will see the link for the OAuth redirect URL. Copy it. Paste that URL into the authorized redirect URL box in Google. Hit Create. Google will now give you a client ID and a client secret. These are your keys to the kingdom. You can copy the client ID key and paste it in n8n in the input field. And we will do the same for client secret. Copy it from Google and paste it in the input field. Okay, let's test it. Click on Sign in with Google. Okay, great. I see that it is blocked. Good that I had this issue, so I can solve it in the recording. Go back to Google Cloud Console. Go to Audience. And click on Add Test User. Add your email. Then click Save. Now if we back again to n8n and we test it again. Okay, looks good so far. Noise. It works now. Why we added a test user? We are working locally now, so in able to connect Google Sheets to n8n locally, we have to do the last step. Now, before we map the form to the Google Sheet, to be able to choose the Google Sheet that we want to work with, we need to enable the Google Drive API from our Cloud Console. So we go to API and Services again. Search for Google Drive API. And enable it. Okay, great. Now we can close the tab. Go to your Google Drive. And create a new Google Sheet. We can write the name of fields that we need to keep, like guest name, room type, check-in date, and we can rename our Google Sheet to Booking System. Okay, so far so good. Now we can back again to n8n. On Document, click on the drop-down. Here you can see the Google Sheets you have on Drive. You choose Booking System. For the sheet name, you will have only one option, and it is always Sheet 1. Keep the option map each column manually. And to be able to add the info we want from the form to our Google Sheets, we need to have the schema option selected. Just drag and drop the data you want. For the guest name, I am taking the info from the guest name field. Same applied to room type and check-in date. Now we can click on Execute Workflow to test it out. I will fill the form with the dummy data. Then submit the form. Okay, now switch over to your Google Sheet. Yes, it's there. You just built a professional booking system. You're not just a student anymore. You're an automation architect. Before you go and celebrate, do two things for me. Smash that like button if your robot worked. It tells the YouTube algorithm that we're building some cool stuff here. Subscribe and hit the bell because you do not want to miss tomorrow. Why? Because later on day 5, we're performing a brain transplant. We're going to connect this system to ChatGPT. When a guest books a room, the AI will read their name and their room type, and it will write a custom, super fancy welcome message back into your sheet automatically. We've built the body, we've connected the hands. Tomorrow, we wake up the brain. Amazing job today. Go get some rest, and I'll see you in the next lesson.